Morning, guys. It's like 6:25 a.m. I'm gonna go to the donut shop and get a little coffee and something to eat before we go to Walmart. Shout out Golden Donuts. Cheap and effective Vietnamese iced coffee right here. Also got a little Donies. All right, we got the R32 GT-R wheels. I'm here at Walmart, undisclosed Walmart. If you're from San Diego, you already know which Walmart I'm already at. And yeah, you might be wondering at this point, why are you doing this at a Walmart parking lot? Well, I live in an apartment. I already restored the first two R32 GT-R wheels in my patio, which is very narrow. And I have neighbors on one side, and then I have a neighbor above me with his windows. So when they hear me sanding down, or when they hear me rattling the cans and spraying, they could hear all that. And on top of that, they could smell everything. So I am just so antsy to finally get the last two finished. And I didn't want to do that early in the morning before work at home, because that's kind of it's kind of messed up to do that to your neighbors. So instead, I'm here at Walmart, where of course, depending on which Walmart you're at, there's always some hijinks happening in the parking lot anyways. And this one specifically, like, it's a big lot, and I see people like camping out here far in the distance all the time. So I figured it'd be a safe place to do some dirty work early in the morning before my actual day job. And yeah, like I said, like, I could have done this maybe after work, but I'm so eager to just get these done because the first two turned out so well. So let's just get to it. All right, so as I was gathering my supplies, I realized I left the freaking sandpaper at home. But thankfully, I'm at Walmart, so I could get some more. Until then, let me walk you through some of the stuff we got. I got some brake cleaner. This is to help just clean off the wheel after sanding down and prepping it all. This is also going to help with that too. This is just some shop towels. And I have a spray bottle with some soapy water. Again, all for prepping and cleaning the surfaces of the R32s. Then we got some primer. This is what I ended up with. It works pretty well. Got this off AutoZone. These three are all off AutoZone. Actually, all of these are from AutoZone. Next up is some Rust-Oleum. This is the only one that had the color I was looking for, which is like a gunmetal black, not like a straight black, not a silver, somewhere in the middle. I felt like that's pretty close to the original finish on the wheel. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Black stainless steel is the name of the color. And then lastly, we have some Duplicolor 1K clear. I paid about 40 to 50 bucks for these. And then as for other materials like these, I also got some masks. And then also the sandpaper. Those were around $40 to $50 as well. So all of this, under $100 to restore my wheels. One last thing before we go into Walmart to buy some sandpaper, because I forgot, is you could tell it is wet outside, which is pretty typical of a San Diego morning. It's usually pretty foggy in the AM. In this case, it's actually a little drizzly. I'm not worried because we're about to do some wet sanding anyways. And also, it kind of helps with dust prevention. Because it's wet, I could go like this, and there's not so much dust on the floor to end up on the wheels while I'm spraying. So hopefully that works out in my favor. The one downside though is that it is a lot cooler temperature wise, so it might take longer to wait for coats to dry before putting on the next coat. Let's go. Let's go. The finest grit that they had was 600, so I got this little combo 400, 600. Ideally, they would have had 1,000. I would have bought that too, but we're gonna make do with what we got. All right, I'm just gonna spray this down with some soapy water and give it a nice clean before we start sanding. Center cap's off. See all these little black spots? That's what I want to get out today. See all the grime? It's mainly just these little black spots, little freckles. I'm gonna sand all of those out. And then I have some leftover 150 grit. I'm gonna use that for these little, deeper dings. Well, I'm not chasing perfection here. What we're doing will make a big difference. See all those little black spots? I'm gonna sand all of those out. Right now we're rocking the 600. I feel like it's fine enough to get all of the little black spots like that. Use my thumb and fingers, get in the little nooks and crannies. Let's hit this little spot right here. See those? See how they're kind of just disappearing? First pass of cleaning slash sanding down. I'm gonna rinse it off and use these shop towels, wipe it down, give it one more hit. For any deep curb rash, what you could do too is use a Dremel and some body filler, you know, go the full 9 yards to get that smoothened out. For me, this is just, you know, a down and dirty job, making use of what I have on a budget with little experience. I've actually never done this before prior to the first 2 wheels that I did, and those came out really well. So I'm just gonna keep rolling through the punches with the method I've been going with. A simple sand, clean, primer, maybe 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of paint, and then 2 coats of clear, and that's all we got. But doing my best to prep the surface for now. Here's our result after the first level of sanding and cleaning. What I'm gonna do now is focus on the interface, you know, get in these little grooves right here, try to clear out all the imperfections, dirt and grime, and then maybe give these inner spokes another hit, as well as these like little, these corners. All right, we got this first wheel pretty much good, ready for primer. Let's go hit the second wheel. We got some guys doing some work by me, but here's the difference. Here's before. And then we got after the cleaning. Let's start cleaning this guy up. A lot of noise now from the gardeners, but this wheel's pretty much almost ready to go. My arms and fingers are kind of cramping because it's a lot of tedious manual work getting in these holes and stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to speak loud over the noise behind me, but yeah, I mean, it's coming along. It's a lot of work. It's also 8 a.m. and I have work like around 9, so kind of on a time crunch here. So I gave the last wheel a 3rd pass. I wasn't super happy with some of the jagged edges. Now I'm ready to pretty much prop these up onto the stand right here, and start painting, or at least primering. But as you can see, these have been sitting as I've been doing that, and they got a little damp from the foggy air outside, and I don't want that to mess with the primer step. I could actually feel, as I'm making this clip, I could feel these droplets, very small droplets on my arm. So I might just have to do this part at home. I'll wait a little bit longer to see if the mist fades out. If that's the case, I'm gonna at least primer it here in the parking lot and then do the painting at home. You can actually see on my glove the little droplets of mist and fog on my glove. And that's why we're gonna hold off on primer for now. So I waited a little bit and the mist is getting worse. Just look at that. These are just staying wet, damp, not ideal for priming or painting. So we're gonna finish this up back at the patio after work. At least the hard part is done. The tedious part is done, just sanding over and over again. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the progress I got this morning. Put me ahead of schedule. Now after work, when everyone's awake and the sun is out and it's dry, I could finally primer, paint, and clear the final 2 wheels. And then we get tires, and then we get coilovers, and whatever else is on the list. So see you guys back at home. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be pretty pissed if I woke up to the sound of and at 7 a.m. So yeah. All right, we're back at home. Got the R32s next to the car. Check it out. Something like that. And something like that. Here's one of the wheels we sanded this morning. Here's one of the ones I did yesterday, completed. All right, so we cleaned the wheels, used some brake clean as well, put some primer, 2 coats of primer, and then also a couple coats of the color. I'm gonna wait like 20 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna hit it with some clear. As for clear, what I've been doing is 2 coats of this. It's a Duplicolor 1K clear, 15 minutes or so between each coat. But yeah, I'm gonna try to apply it a little heavier this time because on the first 2 sets, I feel like there's a lot of potential for more shine, and that's all thanks to the clear. So almost done. Last 2. All right, the wheels are dry now, I believe. Let's go hit it with some clear. All right, just finished clearing the final 2 wheels. All I gotta do is wait for it to dry. These tires will be getting replaced. Currently I'm on 205 55 16. I really want to get 225 45 16, which is kind of a rare size, and they only really make them in like race tires, so they're expensive, but I think it'll be the best look. Stay tuned if you want to see these wheels on the 240 with those tires. Yeah, I mean, I did all this for my very first time under $100 in my patio and Walmart. But yeah, I mean, I would say for a 1-piece wheel like this, and you're trying to do something similar, definitely give it a shot. When it comes to the R32 specific design, it's not too intricate, so I feel like it was really easy to pull off, like all of these you know, little bends and crannies. They're easy to reach, whereas something like a BBS RS, which is a 3-piece mesh wheel, that sounds really difficult. But yeah, I mean, hit me up if you have any questions, hit the comments, and stay tuned. Really excited to throw these on the S13.